Hi everyone. Welcome back to PTI. I'm your host Nico, along with Nathan, Peter, and Kaysen. And I have a question for you guys. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl in 2025? Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Who's taking it home? Kaysen, you're first.
I believe it will be the Houston Texans. I love C.J. Stroud. I love Tank Dell as a tandem. And then they have Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon coming in. They're just a great team, and the defense just needs to step it up a little bit, and I think they'll be right there contending with the Chiefs and other teams.
I think it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, for multiple reasons. First of all, if they got rid of Brian Johnson and Sean Desai, they brought in guys like Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore to revamp the offensive defense. They brought back a guy with swag and attitude and confidence like C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They did well in the draft, and they got Saquon Barkley. How are you going to game plan for Hurts, Barkley, A.J. Brown, Smith, Goddard, and Hurts with his legs? Yours not.
I think it's going to be the Chiefs going for the three-peat. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce have shown that they can perform well in every single postseason. Rashid Rice performed well if he does play this year, and maybe they can turn Xavier Worthy into their new Tyreek Hill.
I agree with Kaysen. The young team with the Texans is going all the way. You have C.J. Stroud. He's proved he can be one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league. They brought in Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell being one of the best receiving corps in the league. And then brought in Joe Mixon to help the running game. And then on the defensive side, they have D'Amico Ryans as their head coach. We know he is one of the best defensive brains in all of football. So I think he can bring that to be one of the best units in the league once again. And No one will be able to beat the whole well-rounded team of the Houston Texans.
Yeah, sure, but there's a thing of, you mentioned Stephon Diggs. Last year and the years previous with the Bills, it felt like he got locked up by, for example, the Chiefs DBs and these other teams DBs, and he choked. He dropped. The last pass he was targeted on as a Bill was a drop pass to basically pretty much win the game.
I understand what you're saying, but that's one pass.
And
we
also,
all know. We've seen Stephon Diggs.
Is Joe Mixon going to stay healthy?
Best.
What if C.J. Stroud has a sophomore slump?
I know Joe Mixon is going to have a bounce-back year. Change of scenery, we've seen it happen before. We know Mixon could be a top running back in this league, and I think he's going to show it again this year in Houston.
Is he going to stay healthy, though? He's getting older.
He can 100% stay healthy.
Also, C.J. Stroud, second year. A lot of quarterbacks have their second year. If they have a good rookie year, they dump off. I don't know if he can keep up the same play he did last year.
I think you're 100% incorrect. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, all of their momentum went downhill from Week 13 last year all the way down. They went 1-6 in their last 7 games. I think all that momentum went downhill, and I think they're going.
Sure, but they brought in new coordinators. Me personally, I thought the problem was all Brian Johnson and Sean Desai. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know how to run an offense or defense. Sean Desai made multiple mistakes with the coverages and this and that. Brian Johnson ran QB draws every 5 plays. And then for the Chiefs argument, what if Xavier Worthy isn't as fast and isn't explosive?
Well, it doesn't matter how good he is. Patrick Mahomes can play with any single wide receiver and he still put up MVP numbers.
Kelce is getting older. Chris Jones is getting older. All the core pieces are getting older. What if they just
matter.
Stop?
Patrick Mahomes has performed well with any receiver he's put up with. He won the MVP last year.
Sure.
And what about Jalen? What about the fall off of Jalen Hurts? Where did he go in the playoffs? He
didn't do anything. It wasn't his fault. The team fell apart, and it was mostly coordinators. He can only run what the coaches call. He was having horrible play calls, halfback screen, QB draw. Literally against the Cardinals, that game they needed to win to clinch the 1 seed or whatever they had to do. They ran a halfback screen when there was no possible way that was going to work. And that lost them that game. And then
the coach is running a halfback screen. Jalen Hurts and DeAndre Swift are supposed to run that to perfection to gain yards.
Yeah, but he can only run what the coach calls in those situations. He was calling those plays or putting Hurts in a horrible spot where he had to either call an audible or go with it, no cover, and then the other defense would coverage it to a point where they can't combat.
And now the O-line is regressing, and the team is just not.
Yeah, but Kelce. I get the Kelce argument, but he did handpick Cam Jurgens. He went to Kyle Grossman and was like, Cam Jurgens, this guy's going to be really good. He could be my replacement.
We've never seen Cam Jurgens play at his level to be his replacement.
Sure, but I know he can. I think he can.
You think.
And with
that's
every
not,
other-
that's not showing leadership of Cam Jurgens. We don't know that
They
he
still
can
have
fill
Lane
the role of
Johnson.
Jason Kelsey.
They still have Lane Johnson. They still have Jordan Mailata. Losing one player is not going to crumble down the whole entire offensive line.
Lane Johnson was
about
also
Fletcher
all
Cox?
about staying healthy.
Fletcher Cox didn't produce last year. He didn't. We
Neither
knew
did
he was
Hassan
gone.
Reddick.
He's gone. We got Bryce Huff, so that argument's gone. The defense is going to step up with a new coordinator. We got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They're going to win the Super Bowl.
Anyways, we'll be right back here on PTI after this commercial break. Thanks for joining.